In today's breaking story, the Justice Department has just launched a criminal investigation as Donald Trump's Epstein scandal deepens. That's right, Trump is getting more and more desperate. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now at this point, Donald Trump has a lot to distract from. I mean, his approval rating is dropping so low, it's basically in the low teens. Actually, come to think of it, that should really excite Donald Trump. For example, Trump has to distract from his gerrymandering scheme to essentially steal the election.
Donald Trump is trying to rig the next election. He and his allies in Congress just passed the largest transfer of wealth in American history with their big, beautiful bill. Literally kicking millions of people, including millions of Texans, off their health care to fund tax cuts for billionaires. They know that's unpopular, but they don't care because they have a plan. Trump just called Governor Abbott and told him to redraw the political maps in Texas to get him 5 more seats to protect their majority in the next election, regardless of how we all vote. If they get away with this, they will never have to fear the voters ever again. They can enrich themselves and their donors with impunity, with no consequences, with no accountability. This is the rot at the core of our broken political system. Politicians choosing their voters instead of voters choosing their politicians.
Trump would love for nothing more than this Epstein scandal to go away, but still, it continues to rage on and dominate the news cycle. No distraction seems to be working.
10,000 people every day leaving the Republican and Democratic parties. This isn't a partisan issue. This is a fundamental issue. This is a fundamental issue of trust in our institutions of government. And that's why at the Forward Party, we're calling for full transparency and accountability here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Trump's acting incredibly shady around this stuff, to be honest with you. And I think that's part of the problem. So while I do take your point about trust in parties, the fact is this man ran on, producing documents, exposing these lies, and now he's acting in a way that suggests that he has something to hide. And I don't know how he gets out from under this without full transparency, but...
And some of these distraction attempts, I'm not gonna lie, they're just pathetic, like what J.D. Vance said the other day.
The other thing is, there are stories that I am particularly focused on, in part just because you talk with your buddies about it. Like, I'm obsessed with the whole UFO thing. What's actually going on? What were those videos all about? What's actually happening? I haven't gotten to the bottom of it yet, but we're only 6 months in. We've been very busy. That's actually the August recess is in part me going to try to dive to the bottom of the whole UFO thing from last year. So
I mean, you got to have us back.
Okay, I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Everybody's focused on the fact that Trump seems to be covering for one of the most notorious abusers ever. And you're like, hey, look everybody, aliens. And now in today's top story, the Justice Department has launched a criminal investigation as the Epstein scandal deepens. Take a look at this. Donald Trump is once again using the power of the presidency to punish his enemies and distract from the scandal that just won't go away. The Epstein files. In a move ripped straight from the authoritarian playbook, the Office of Special Counsel has now opened an investigation into former Special Counsel Jack Smith. Why? Because Republican Senator Tom Cotton accused Smith of violating the Hatch Act, a law that restricts government employees from engaging in partisan political activity during their official duties during his investigation into Trump. But let's be clear, Smith is no longer a government employee, and the Hatch Act doesn't carry any criminal penalties. This isn't about justice, it's about revenge, and it's happening at the exact moment Trump's administration is under fire for mishandling and potentially suppressing explosive Epstein-related documents. Jack Smith, of course, was the man behind Trump's criminal indictments over classified documents and election interference, cases that, conveniently for Trump, were dropped after he won the 2024 election. Now, instead of moving on, Trump is doubling down, weaponizing the federal government to go after the man who tried to hold him accountable. Even more suspicious, this sudden probe was announced just as Trump faces growing backlash over the sweetheart treatment his administration gave to Ghislaine Maxwell and the murky handling of Epstein's files. It's no secret that top officials are scrambling to shift the narrative, with multiple sources inside the White House admitting they are desperate to change the subject. And if that's not enough, Trump even signed an executive action targeting the very law firm that represented Jack Smith. Further proof that this is political payback, not policy. The bottom line is this: Trump is lashing out at his enemies while the Epstein scandal continues to simmer. And once again, he's using the machinery of government not to serve the people, but to serve himself. Dictators do this kind of thing all the time. And now, so does Donald Trump. Once again, Donald Trump is acting like a spiteful child. He's an unhinged buffoon, and he continues to use the power of his presidency to enact revenge, neglect the American people, and protect himself. It's pathetic, it's embarrassing, and this is absolutely going to cost the Republicans during the midterms.